Hello, this is Sonja from My Happy Space. Welcome back at my channel. Today is Bingo Bible Journaling again. I do it once a month. This is my second entry. This is where I put these little journaling prompts in a little bag, and then I draw 3 of these prompts and I try to do a Bible journey entry. I think it's quite fun. It's make you use your things, and yeah, okay, let's get into it. I'm going to choose my first one. I'm always getting very nervous when I do that. I'm very exciting and nervous to see what I'm going to draw. Okay, the first one, it is use your favorite pattern paper. So yeah, that's nice and easy because Bible journaling community, we love using paper, and I've got so many favorite ones. I think I'm probably going to use a Maggie Holmes paper. I'll see. Okay, the next one. Let's see what that is. Okay, let me see. It is all washi, like with other words, washi tape. So that's also nice and easy. We always use washi in Bible journaling. So far, so good. Let's see what the third one is. Sometimes it is nice to have sometimes a challenge, but yeah, let's see what is the third one. Buttons. Okay, that's something interesting. That's something you usually would have used in the Bible journey entry, but yeah, we can see how that's going to work. So, okay, it's my favorite pattern paper. It is buttons and it is washi tape. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see what I'm going to get up to. I think it's going to be a lovely entry. It's up my alley. It's my strength. So I'm going to go away and get my things together. Okay, so I've pulled out some favorite washi. Obviously, I always gravitate towards pinks and sort of the more pastel colors. So I drew up a few washi tapes, which I'm going to use maybe. I don't know where and how yet. But I've just did that, and then I went through my button stash. So I've got here these wooden buttons with buttons on it, and then I've got these little craft buttons, heart buttons, which is just very cheerful. So I also don't know how I'm going to use that, but I just drew loads of them out. And then I got all my pattern paper out. Now that is a Felicity Jane Lola pattern. I don't know if I'm going to use that. That's an Echo Park pattern, which I just had in my stats, which I love. This is all Maggie Home papers. I think that is a Heritage collection. That's also a Heritage collection. Is one of my favorite collection from Maggie Holmes. This is Chasing Dreams, or yeah, I think it's Chasing Dreams. That's also the Heritage collection. I could be wrong, but as I said, it's all Maggie Holmes, and it's Chasing Dreams, Heritage Collection, Florries, all those, one of those. That's definitely Heritage. This is from Illustrated Faith. It's from Sarah Gleason, one of her pattern papers I love. That's definitely a Heritage Collection. That's one of my all-time favorite. This is from Lola, Felicity Jane. I don't think actually I'm going to use that. I'll see how it works out. It doesn't fit to me, although it is one of my favorite pattern papers. So yes, this is my little traveler's notebook. I must have had a confession. I can't find my original one. I've looked everywhere. I've gone through my whole craft room, look for it. I can't find it. So I've decided to make another traveler's notebook. So if I find the other one, what I will do is I will paste the entries in this one. I kept opening for it. So yeah, we might just continue with this new one. Sorry about that. But as I said, I hid it so well that I can't find it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to put you in fast forward, and the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to use these pattern papers, and I'm going to cut it in 4 inches by 3.5 inches. Now, what I've decided to do is I've decided to do sort of a waterfall effect on my page to be able to audition all these beautiful pages, pattern paper, because the prompt was pattern paper. So first of all, I make the edges around, and it is on the 3.5 side that I'm doing it. And now I'm going to score it. Now what you need to do is you need to put it on the long side on the scoreboard, and then the straight edge scored at 1 inch. So you see the rounded edges is on the right hand side and the straight edge is on the left hand side, and you just score it at 1.5 inch rather. So after you've done that, you just flatten it and make sure that the score works nicely. I'm just using my bone folder here to do that. As I said, we're going to do this waterfall effect, which we can put the papers on top of each other, and it's going to lift up as I said, I just wanted to use all these beautiful pattern papers. So the first one, I'm just playing around. I wasn't very sure which one I need to put on first, the one I want to have at the top or bottom. I first thought, okay, I'm going to put that one because we need to start at the bottom, but then I realized you start actually with the top paper. So I love, as I said, that is also one of my favorite pattern papers. So I thought I'm going to start with that one. So this little folded bit, what you do is you put the double-sided tape on that. You can use any glue or anything, but I think double-sided tape works well. So obviously I take it up, and then the idea is just obviously to secure it nicely in the middle at the edge of the page. Now you see you've got this little flip up. Now you choose your next pattern paper. So I'm just deciding which one I'm going to use. Maybe I sort of want to use a less pattern, sort of alternate them. Then I just turn it around and I put my double-sided tape on there also. And then the key is that I secure it underneath the little flap of the previous one. So not on top of it, sort of underneath it, and just make sure that it lines up nicely so it can have this waterfall effect. So I'm just doing it with my third pattern paper. Now the idea would have been to do double-sided paper, but because I rely on printables mostly, and it's quite complicated for me. It's actually probably not so complicated to do double-sided printing, but in this case I didn't. So the top bit is white, so I'm going to decorate that later. So I'm just doing it with the next piece of paper. So I've done it all now. As you can see, it's got this wonderful waterfall effect. Obviously, it will make your travel's notebook quite bulky. What I've done with the last one, I've just had a leftover paper and I decided I'm just going to try to fit it in perfectly underneath there so you don't have that white space when you lift up the last flap. So I'm just measuring it and put it more or less on top of the last little flap of the bottom one, if that makes sense. So yeah, I love how it turned out. So what I've done is I've decided to journal Proverbs 4 verse 20 to 27. I'm going through Proverbs at the moment, and this really stood out for me, and I thought I'm going to put every verse on a different journaling card. Now these journaling cards is from Illustrated Faith. It's a jumbo one. I've just made it a little bit smaller so it can fit in there, and I've just backed it with pattern paper. So the verses is my daughter. It's actually said my son, but I've just changed it into my daughter because I'm talking to myself. My daughter, be attentive to my words. Incline your ears to my saying. And then the next verse says, let them not escape from your sight. Keep them within your heart. The next one says, for they are life to those who find them and healing to all their flesh. And the next verse says, keep your heart with all diligence, for from it flow the spring of life. And the next verse says, put away from you crooked speech and put devious talk from you. And then let your eyes look directly forward and your gaze be straight before you. Ponder the path of your feet, then all your ways will be sure. Do not swerve to the right or the left. Turn your foot ways from evil. So that is the verses, and what I've done is I've highlighted all the verbs in it. At the moment, just to get back to the artwork, I'm just decorating the inside, and I'm decorating the cover. At the moment, it's with this beautiful little butterfly. That is all. Mostly, it's Maggie Holmes ephemera. Also, I just went through my stash, which was still left from the Heritage Collection or from the Gratitude Documenting. So I just went through that and used some of the die cuts which was left. So for the verses, what I've done is I've highlighted all the verbs in this Proverbs because that stuck out for me. That is verbs, it's an action we need to take. So yeah, that is quite interesting to have a look at that and see what verbs the Proverbs writer is talking about. Now, for the Washi element of the prompt, obviously, what you've seen me is I've put a little bit of Washi on the journaling cards also, just to see, so almost to look like I stuck it with a little piece of Washi on there. And then I thought to myself, I'm going to put sort of rows of Washi on the left-hand side, which I've just covered with one of the leftover pattern papers, just to bring sort of a central point there and to give it a little bit of background. So yeah, I just wanted to use a little bit more washi. I just thought I'm cheating a little bit if I'm just putting washi on the journaling cards. I just wanted to make sure I use of it. Then I'm going to use these Offa letters, which is from Felicity Jane. Oh, I'm so stingy with this letters. Because yeah, they are just beautiful, and I don't have many physical Felicity Jane products. I've got mostly digital. So yeah, so I'm just spelling out wisdom. And I'm using the little bit of the X just to make the little hyphen there, because X is not really a letter you can use often. So I thought I have the luxury to do that. So I'm now going to decorate the inside of the little flap. So just to bring a little bit more interest and pattern on it. Yeah, as I said, these proverbs, all the action words, spoke to me, and it's just a proof that you cannot leave your faith to any luck, as to speak. You need to be intentional in it. You need to have a plan of action. A verb is an action word. You need to keep it. You need to be diligent. It mustn't escape your sight. It brings healing to those who find it. It's what else? It's keep away from crooked speeds. Keep your eyes directly and look straight ahead. And there's many more. I mean, we know we are saved by grace. It's not by works. But yeah, Paul also said that work out your salvation, meaning that it is an action you have to take. You can't just sit back and hope for the best. So yeah, that was just quite interesting for me. So now my button element, as you see next to wisdom, I've put 2 buttons. And I thought in the middle of the little butterfly, I'm going to also put a little button, because that's just cute. So yeah, now I'm just flipping through and just show you how it all looks, all the decorations. I've used doilies. As I said, I've used my ephemera. That is actually also from the gratitude documenting, and I've used some dictionary paper. Yeah, it was lots of fun decorating it. Just put a little element on each one of them, and then that's just at the bottom at the end. So yeah, that is how it looks. So I really hope you enjoyed this entry. I'm just showing you here that I've used all of the elements, the buttons, the beautiful pattern papers, and the washi tape. So I kept to it all, and it was lots of fun. It stretched my my creativity. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. I'd love to have you as part of this family. I'm going to create a hashtag. It's here on the screen. So if you'd like to join me in this bingo challenge and see what you get up to with the same prompts, I'd love to see what you do. It'd be fun to share and see and work together. And yeah, I hope you really make use of this hashtag. Have a great day, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.